sprouts topping this one out.
Now I'll film low. You know, John didn't want me to film high, so I'll film low.
So that people could recognize it by the skyline. Something's munching on this one.
Yeah, Leela's got munched up on the Daniel Boone. Rolling. Oh, wait a minute. Hey. Did you see any sprouts? See, I'm seeing sprouting down here. Get a good shot of this one right. Now that's not even one. That's a sprout. That is a sprout.
Right here, this one's sprout.
Yeah, that's a sprout. Yeah. This is a pretty nice tree right here. All looks good. And
Yeah, is it got sprouting at the bottom?
no, it's
Single stem?
oh no, yeah, no, it's starting to sprout a little bit down at the bottom too.
Okay, when it cuts off on you.
There
you go.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, if you leave it open too long without taking a photo, it'll cut off.
Okay.
I better cut off my. I think I cut the camera off. I'm not sure. Yeah.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
Go ahead, keep on going.
It looks a little, something's bit the top of that one.
Yeah.
And a dead one.
Well, just as well. I can't see over this pile of briars.
It's bold, ain't it?
Yeah, wave that around a little bit, Robin. Kind of, yeah, use your sweater as a background. Oh, yeah, that's good. Okay.
All right.
Just kind of meander down that.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah, meander down that corridor there.
Down angle and view.
Yep. Okay, hang on, Robin. Let me. No, let's see. Come back and shake that. I'm going to zoom in a little bit.
That one up there?
No, that one that you're right by. Change that. Hang on just a minute. Okay, go ahead and shake it. Okay.
Got it?
Yep. Dead one?
No, it's died back in the top, but it's not completely dead.
Okay. I'm going to pause it. Here, go ahead. Give it a shake. Oh, that's a pretty big one.
Yeah, it's pretty good size.
I don't think any of these have really grown much, but that's normal.
This one's not sprouted.
Okay. Okay, let me zoom. Okay.
Oh, look at this one.
All right, just hold on there. I'm going to move on. Let me zoom in. Okay, go ahead. Shake it. Okay. Okay, come on ahead. Good. Good. That's a good one.
Yep. Looks like another dead one. No, it's sprouting.
It's sprouting. Yeah, we want to get a photo of that.
Okay.
Yeah, pull that back. I'll zoom in on that. Okay, here we go. Yeah, let me get one more shot of that. Zoom in. Okay, good.
This orange row is the top, isn't it?
Huh?
This orange row, the top.
I think so.
I believe it is.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, I see more dead ones in this little area than we did up there.
Yep. But that would make sense because this site's a harsher site. Hello, American Chestnut Cooperators Foundation. I'm Scott Schlarbaum from the University of Tennessee, and behind me is the experimental planting that we established this last spring from your seed orchard. 105 trees are established here, and as you look at this video and some of the still photos that I will attach with my report, you can see that the survival is excellent. I counted 3 dead trees, and that's really 98%, 97% survival, which is just excellent for a forestry planting. Some of the trees are yellowing, and some look a little bit yellow, and others seem to be fine. That's due to the excessive rain that we've had this last year. I think it's probably a touch of Phytophthora, and the 3 trees that look like they died from Phytophthora form to me, although I didn't make any observations when they actually died, so I couldn't see whether or not the leaves just suddenly went limp and then turned brown and the tree died, which is pretty characteristic of Phytophthora. Overall, some of the trees have grown quite well, which is surprising. Usually you don't see much growth the first year. There's not much dieback. We got these in fairly early after we lifted them, which we always like to do with chestnut. You can see some of them are probably over 4 feet tall. They were big seedlings, but I've seen over a foot of growth on some of these trees. The Phytophthora has been a problem in all of the chestnut plantings that I've been associated with. I just inspected one of the American Chestnut Foundation's plantings that was established under the leadership of Stacy Clark from the U.S. Forest Service, and about the same story. The trees were surviving, some were yellowing, and some were green. I think that unless we just get more and more and more rain for the rest of the growing season, that these trees will survive. If we have a normal year next year, probably the Phytophthora problem will go away and these trees will really kick in and start to grow. We're at the East Tennessee State Nursery. The nursery staff has done an excellent job of maintaining these trees. You can see there's clusters of weeds around these trees, and there's a few big pokeweed by a few, which I broke down, although those really won't hurt the tree much, particularly in a year like this with all the moisture. Next year, what we'll do, we'll come in and probably put a tree shelter as protection over these trees, or some kind of a barrier, and spray and round up and kill the weeds around them at the start of the year, maybe come back mid-year and give them another squirt. But the weed problem really isn't very bad. I think this is a pretty good site. I think these trees are going to really grow. I'll report again next year. Betty, Steve, and Mike. I'm standing at the East Tennessee State Nursery, and in front of me is the Gene Johnston Orchard, named of course after Gene, and established the following planting season after he passed away. This sign is actually a double-sided sign. We felt that with the mountains in the back that it'd be nice to have Gene's name looking toward the mountains, which were so important in his life. This orchard is a northern red oak orchard, and it's comprised of super select trees that were some of the earliest and heaviest and consistent producing trees in the Watauga orchard. These are seedlings from those trees. And so the primary purpose of this orchard will actually be a wildlife orchard. It's unique in its kind, and we expect acorn production just any time now due to the size of the trees. Actually, the trees are somewhat young for acorn production, but again, we select their mother trees were trees that produced at relatively young ages too. In a minute, I'll turn the camera around and show you the orchard. There's a few trees that look a little scraggly. Those trees we have just planted other seedlings into the select seedlings into those spaces just this last winter to replace some trees that died. And tree mortality in plantations usually occurs. You get a little bit, and that's what we've had here. But most of the trees are doing quite well. I'll pan the orchard, and then I'll walk through the orchard, and you can see how well they're doing. So remember, I'm 6 foot 2 inches tall, so each one of these colors, that's a foot, and so it gives you a little size perspective for some of these different trees. I hope you all are in good health, and anytime you would like to visit this orchard, please please contact me, and I'll be glad to bring you down here. We were allowed to put up this sign, I will say, by John Kahn, who's the the state nursery manager, and he's an old friend of Gene and Griff's, and so he graciously gave us permission to put this sign up. Let's take a look at the orchard. This pole, actually Professor Thor bought this and was here when I came in 1984. We have a number of photos showing Gene using this pole in various plantations all over the state. So it's kind of an antique and something that we take pretty good care of. Notice how thick this tree is. Pretty thick for a 5-year-old tree.